1960s sitcoms. Fun facts you never knew. Classic TV secrets revealed.
Imagine turning on the TV in the 1960s, when color was just starting to dazzle screens and sitcoms ruled American living rooms. These shows weren't just entertainment, they shaped culture, introduced unforgettable characters, and set the stage for decades of comedy to follow. In fact, the behind-the-scenes stories of 1960s sitcoms are just as entertaining as the shows themselves. Today, we're diving into 10 amazing fun facts about 1960s sitcoms that will make you see this golden era of television in a whole new light. Number 1. Gilligan's Island theme song almost had a completely different cast introduction. First, let's talk about Gilligan's Island. The theme song originally didn't even mention the professor and Mary Ann. Instead, the lyrics lumped them together as the rest. Can you imagine? Fans loved the characters so much that after the first season, the opening was changed to include them by name. Now here's the fun twist. The decision was made partly because actress Dawn Wells, who played Mary Ann, and Russell Johnson, who played the professor, had a growing fan base that demanded recognition. It's a perfect example of audience power shaping television history. So, the next time you hum along to a 3-hour tour, remember, those lyrics you know so well were the result of fans insisting on fairness. Number 2. Bewitched had real sparks flying on set. On Bewitched, Elizabeth Montgomery, who played Samantha, was actually married to producer William Asher. That marriage meant she had a strong influence on the show, including storylines and even casting decisions. The chemistry you see on screen wasn't just Hollywood magic. It was a real-life partnership behind the scenes. But here's the catch. That same real-life marriage was sometimes rocky, which added an odd layer of tension during filming. Imagine acting in love scenes while dealing with personal drama off camera. It made for some fascinating behind-the-scenes dynamics, and here's the lasting impression. Even with personal challenges, Montgomery's charm and wit carried the show into television history, proving that real-life complications can still create on-screen magic. Number 3. The Munsters car became an icon all its own. The Munsters wasn't just about spooky comedy. It had one of the coolest cars ever built for TV, the Munster Coach. Designed by legendary car customizer George Barris, the coach was 18 feet long and cost around $18,000 to build. A huge sum in the 1960s. What's fascinating is how the car itself became a star. Fans would show up at events just to see it, and magazines covered its design as if it were a Hollywood celebrity. It was so popular that a second hot rod, Dracula, was also created for the show. So, while Herman Munster may have been the goofy dad, his ride made him the envy of car lovers everywhere. Please show your support for the channel by subscribing, liking the video, and hitting the notifications bell so that you never miss a new video. Number 4. The Addams Family theme was snapped into history. The Addams Family theme song is one of the most instantly recognizable in TV history, and it's all thanks to finger snaps. Composer Vic Mizzy wanted something simple, catchy, and just a little spooky, so he used the idea of 2 snaps in rhythm. But here's the quirky detail. Mizzy actually sang the lyrics himself for the demo, and the network loved it so much they kept his voice for the final version. That means the spooky sing-song voice you hear is the composer himself, and of course, the snaps turned into a pop culture signature. Decades later, people still instantly recognize the tune with just a couple of clicks of the fingers. Number 5. I Dream of Jeannie's bottle wasn't really magic. Barbara Eden's famous bottle in I Dream of Jeannie wasn't a Hollywood invention. It was actually a repurposed 1964 Jim Beam whiskey decanter that set designers decorated to look mystical and exotic. The production team hand-painted it with colorful designs, giving it that magical aura. Each season, it was touched up or redesigned slightly, creating subtle variations fans sometimes notice. What's fun is that collectors today treasure replicas and even originals of the bottle, turning what was once just a prop into a piece of TV history worth thousands. Number 6. Green Acres was a satire hiding in plain sight. On the surface, Green Acres seemed like a silly fish-out-of-water comedy about a city couple moving to the country. But underneath the laughs, it was actually a parody of American consumerism and modernization. Writers often slipped in absurdist humor, including talking animals, surreal one-liners, and situations that made fun of the clash between city ambition and rural simplicity. It was smarter than most audiences realized at the time. So, while people tuned in for the laughs, Green Acres was quietly making commentary about life in America, proving sitcoms could be both entertaining and sharp. Number 7. My Favorite Martian Predicted Future Tech. In My Favorite Martian, Uncle Martin had a spaceship with gadgets that looked silly in the 1960s, but some of them ended up predicting real-world inventions. His wristwatch communicator looked suspiciously like the smartwatches we use today. The show's playful use of antennas and gadgets sparked imaginations of young viewers, some of whom grew up to become scientists and engineers. It's a reminder of how pop culture can inspire innovation. So, next time you ask your smartwatch a question, give a little nod to Uncle Martin for thinking of it first. Number 8. Hogan's Heroes had a cast with real war ties. Hogan's Heroes was a comedy set in a German POW camp, but behind the laughs, the show's cast had deep personal connections to World War II. Robert Clary, who played Corporal LeBeau, was actually a Holocaust survivor. Other cast members like Werner Klimper, who played Colonel Klink, and John Boehner, who played Sergeant Schultz, were Jewish actors who fled Nazi Germany and Austria before the war. This gave the show a strange but powerful authenticity, as the actors were using comedy to process real historical trauma, turning satire into resilience. Number 9. The Dick Van Dyke Show almost didn't happen. Today, The Dick Van Dyke Show is considered one of the greatest sitcoms ever, but its pilot episode completely flopped. The original star wasn't Dick Van Dyke at all, but creator Carl Reiner himself. CBS executives weren't impressed, so the show was retooled with Van Dyke and Mary Tyler Moore creating the magical chemistry we all know today. It's one of the best examples of how a second chance can change TV history. Without that switch, we might never have had one of television's most influential comedies. Number 10. Star Trek's Laughter Experiment. Believe it or not, when Star Trek first aired in the 1960s, NBC executives actually considered adding a laugh track to the show, just like other sitcoms of the era. They thought audiences wouldn't get it without hearing when to laugh. Fortunately, creator Gene Roddenberry fought hard to keep the show serious and cinematic, and the laugh track idea was dropped. Imagine Spock delivering his logical lines with canned laughter in the background. It's wild to think how close we came to losing the tone of one of the most groundbreaking shows in history. And there you have it, 10 amazing fun facts about 1960s sitcoms, each one proving that the golden age of television was full of surprises, experiments, and cultural breakthroughs. These shows weren't just silly comedies, they were bold, inventive, and sometimes ahead of their time. So the next time you hear a theme song or catch a rerun, remember, you're not just watching TV, you're watching history in action.
1960s TV shows you forgot existed. 10 classic forgotten gems.
What if I told you there are 10 great TV shows from the 1960s that most people have completely forgotten, but each one left behind an amazing fun fact that shaped television history? Let's dive in. Number 1. The Mothers-in-Law. This sitcom, produced by Desi Arnaz, after his I Love Lucy success, revolved around two neighboring families whose children married, forcing the mothers to become reluctant in-laws. The show delivered a unique mix of slapstick and family tension, making it one of the early comedies to highlight the clash of parenting styles and meddling relatives. Though it only ran for 2 seasons, it captured a quirky charm that stood out in its time. What's fascinating is that many behind-the-scenes figures had roots in I Love Lucy. Arnaz brought over his trademark, multi-camera filming style, ensuring the comedy played out almost like live theater. The cast often improvised, which wasn't common in network sitcoms then. Their antics gave the show a spontaneous energy, a signature Arnaz touch. Despite its strong creative team, the series struggled against heavy competition in its time slot. However, it has earned a reputation among TV historians as a hidden gem of 60s comedy. Its lively take on generational conflict foreshadowed the family sitcoms that would dominate the 70s and beyond. Number 2. The Patty Duke Show. Before split-screen technology became routine, The Patty Duke Show broke ground by letting one actress play 2 characters, identical cousins, Patty and Kathy. With clever editing, Patty Duke convincingly interacted with herself, a technical marvel for the early 1960s. The show wasn't just a gimmick, It explored themes of individuality versus conformity. With the fun-loving Patty contrasting against the refined Kathy, this dynamic reflected American youth culture at the time, when traditional values clashed with modern rebellion. Patty Duke later revealed the exhausting workload of carrying two roles, but her performance earned her lasting acclaim. To this day, the series remains a pioneering example of how sitcoms could experiment with technology and storytelling. Number 3. My Favorite Martian. This whimsical sitcom paired human curiosity with alien mischief. As a reporter took in a stranded Martian disguised as his uncle, its premise gave audiences a lighthearted spin on the space race era. Ray Walston, who played the Martian, became famous for his calm, intellectual delivery, often contrasting with Bill Bixby's frantic attempts to hide him from the world. The series not only entertained, but reflected America's fascination with extraterrestrials. It influenced later comedies like Mork and Mindy, proving the appeal of aliens in humorous situations. Please show your support for the channel by subscribing, liking the video, and hitting the notifications bell so that you never miss a new video. Number 4. That Girl. Marlo Thomas starred as Anne Marie, one of the first independent single women portrayed in a sitcom. Unlike other female characters of the era, she was ambitious, career-driven, and not defined by marriage. The series became a touchstone for young women watching TV, showing that female characters could chase their dreams instead of simply supporting others. Its cultural impact can't be understated. That Girl paved the way for shows like The Mary Tyler Moore Show, making it a landmark in feminist television history. Number 5. Car 54. Where Are You? This police sitcom took an unusual route by focusing on two bumbling New York officers rather than gritty crime stories. The humor came from misunderstandings and absurd community situations. The show was created by Nat Hiken, who also made The Phil Silvers Show. His comedy style emphasized ensemble chaos, making even minor characters unforgettable. Though often overshadowed by later cop comedies, Car 54 was a pioneer, blending slapstick with sharp writing. It also gave early roles to actors like Fred Gwynne, who would soon star in the Munsters. Number 6. The Flying Nun. Sally Field became a household name by playing a novice nun whose habit would literally catch the wind, allowing her to fly. Though critics often ridiculed the premise, audiences adored its sweetness and lightheartedness. The show had a strong moral center, with episodes often revolving around compassion and service. Sally Field herself later admitted embarrassment over the role, but it undeniably launched her career, eventually leading to her acclaimed dramatic work. Number 7. The Farmer's Daughter. This political-tinged sitcom told the story of a farm girl who becomes a congressman's housekeeper, only for romance to develop between them. The show was progressive for its time, depicting women in political spaces and balancing domestic life with public service themes. While not as widely remembered today, it influenced the mix of politics and humor in later shows, quietly setting a precedent for socially aware sitcoms. Number 8. Mr. Terrific. Years before superheroes dominated screens, Mr. Terrific gave viewers a bumbling everyman who gained super strength by taking an experimental pill. The series was intentionally campy, playing into the 60s fascination with superheroes, but parodying the concept. Although short-lived, its playful take on superhero tropes predates modern parody shows, making it a quirky ancestor of comedic hero series. Number 9. Run for Your Life. Ben Gazzara starred as a man diagnosed with a terminal illness who decides to live life to the fullest by traveling the world. This dramatic premise gave the series a darker, more philosophical tone than most 60s dramas, reflecting deeper human concerns. Though it only ran a few years, it influenced later existential adventure series, and remains admired for its bold approach to mortality on primetime TV. Number 10. The Girl from U.N.C.L.E., a spin-off of The Man from U.N.C.L.E. This series featured Stephanie Powers as a stylish secret agent fighting international villains. While short-lived, it made strides in presenting a female lead in the male-dominated spy genre, combining fashion, action, and campy humor. The show may not have achieved lasting fame, but it carved out a place in TV history as one of the first spy series led by a woman. A bold move in the 1960s landscape. And there you have it, 10 great classic TV shows from the 1960s. You may not remember, each one with a story that helped shape television's golden age. Which of these forgotten shows would you love to see make a comeback? Leave a comment below.
'60s sitcom legends, the funniest and most influential TV shows of all time.
Welcome back to a journey through television history. Today, we'll explore the top 10 most influential 1960s sitcoms and how they shaped the shows we still watch today. These series didn't just entertain audiences, they changed the DNA of modern television forever. So, let's dive into the laughs, the lessons, and the legacies of these unforgettable classics. Number 1. The Andy Griffith Show. This show captured small-town America in a way no other series had before. Its simple setting in Mayberry wasn't just about folksy humor. It was about heart, community, and lessons that transcended generations. The series gave us lovable characters like Andy, Barney, and Opie, showing audiences that comedy didn't have to rely on slapstick alone. It could also shine through warmth and humanity. Modern shows such as Parks and Recreation and even The Office borrow from this style, blending humor with heart while celebrating quirky characters and close-knit communities. Number 2. Bewitched. This magical sitcom introduced the idea that fantasy could seamlessly blend with domestic comedy. Samantha Stevens wasn't just a witch, she was also a modern wife, trying to balance her powers with suburban life. It was groundbreaking in showing a female character with independence, control, and charm, who often saved the day while her husband stumbled through situations. Shows like Sabrina the Teenage Witch and even WandaVision carry the DNA of Bewitched, proving that audiences still love a mix of magic, humor, and real-life struggles. Number 3. The Dick Van Dyke Show. This was one of the first sitcoms to portray work and home life in equal measure. Rob Petrie's job as a comedy writer was just as important as his life at home with Laura. The show's witty scripts, clever wordplay, and sophisticated humor raised the bar for sitcom writing, making it smarter and more character-driven than its predecessors. Today's workplace comedies, such as 30 Rock and even late-night sketch shows, owe a debt to the groundbreaking balance of professional and personal life pioneered here. Please show your support for the channel by subscribing, liking the video, and hitting the notifications bell so that you never miss a new video. Number 4. Gilligan's Island. At first glance, it was just a group of castaways stuck on an island, but Gilligan's Island gave us a template for ensemble comedies. Each character had a clear personality, from the skipper to the professor to Ginger. Audiences loved watching how different personalities clashed and collaborated in ridiculous situations, turning isolation into humor. Modern ensemble shows like Friends or Community follow a similar formula, where distinct characters bounce off one another, creating endless comedic possibilities. Number 5. I Dream of Jeannie. Jeannie and her master's antics brought whimsical humor with a romantic twist. The chemistry between Jeannie and Major Nelson pushed sitcom boundaries by mixing fantasy, flirtation, and traditional slapstick. Though lighthearted, the series explored themes of gender roles, independence, and unconventional relationships, even if wrapped in playful comedy. Jeannie's influence can be felt in romantic comedies and fantasy shows alike, proving that a little magic can make love stories even more entertaining. Number 6. The Beverly Hillbillies. This fish-out-of-water comedy gave us culture clash at its finest. The Clampetts striking oil and moving to Beverly Hills provided endless laughs as rural values met urban sophistication. It highlighted themes of class, identity, and adaptation, while celebrating the idea that common sense and kindness often trump wealth and status. Modern sitcoms like Fresh Off the Boat or Schitt's Creek borrowed heavily from this formula of outsiders adjusting to strange new worlds. Number 7. Green Acres. Reversing the Beverly Hillbillies formula, Green Acres placed a wealthy couple in the middle of farm life. Its surreal humor and quirky tone made it one of the most unique sitcoms of its time. The series used absurdist comedy, talking animals, and zany side characters to break sitcom conventions, paving the way for more experimental shows. You can see Green Acres' influence in offbeat comedies like Scrubs or Arrested Development, where silliness meets heartfelt moments. Number 8. The Munsters. This spooky sitcom was a playful parody of horror culture, making monsters lovable instead of scary. Herman, Lily, and Grandpa Munster showed that family life could be funny, even if your neighbors were terrified. It used satire to challenge stereotypes about normal families while delivering campy laughs and memorable gags. The Munsters paved the way for shows like The Addams Family Revival and even animated hits like Hotel Transylvania, where monsters are funny and relatable. Number 9. My Three Sons. This series was one of the longest-running family sitcoms of the era, and it stood out for its portrayal of single-parent life, which was unusual at the time. Steve Douglas raising 3 boys alone was groundbreaking television. The show dealt with family challenges and emotional growth while keeping humor at its core, striking a perfect balance between comedy and heart. Modern family shows, from Full House to Modern Family, echo this formula of unconventional households being just as meaningful and loving as traditional ones. Number 10. Get Smart. This spy spoof created by Mel Brooks and Buck Henry turned Cold War tensions into comedy gold. Maxwell Smart was the bumbling secret agent who always managed to succeed despite his mistakes. The show satirized serious spy dramas like James Bond while introducing iconic catchphrases and gadgets that still make fans laugh today. Modern comedies like Austin Powers and even action comedies such as Brooklyn Nine-Nine owe their roots to Get Smart's clever blend of parody and slapstick. From small-town sheriffs to bumbling spies, magical wives to stranded castaways. The sitcoms of the 1960s didn't just entertain, they reinvented television. Their impact is still felt in the shows we watch today, proving that laughter truly is timeless. Which one of these sitcoms is your favorite? And which do you think had the biggest influence on modern TV? Leave it in the comments below.
Classic TV laughs, it's iconic episodes from your favorite 60s sitcoms.
The 1960s were a golden era for television comedy, when clever writing, physical humor, and unforgettable characters combined to create moments that still make us laugh today. These sitcoms didn't just entertain, they shaped the future of TV comedy, creating iconic episodes that continue to resonate with audiences decades later. In this video, we'll explore 10 of the most memorable, highest-rated episodes from your favorite 60s sitcoms, uncovering behind-the-scenes details and what made these stories so timelessly funny. Number 1. Job Switching. I Love Lucy. Season 2, Episode 1. Known as the Chocolate Factory episode, Lucy and Ethel take jobs wrapping chocolates on a fast-moving conveyor belt, creating one of the most famous sequences in television comedy history. Lucille Ball's brilliance in physical comedy shines as chocolates pile up, spill over, and force frantic improvisation, with each chocolate appearing to move faster than their hands can manage. Desi Arnaz meticulously choreographed the belt's speed to match Lucy and Ethel's timing, and the scene was rehearsed repeatedly to ensure perfect synchronization between physical gags and camera angles. The humor escalates as chocolates fly in all directions, the women frantically stuff them in their mouths and pockets, and the comedic tension builds to a chaotic yet perfectly executed crescendo. This episode is a masterclass in timing, slapstick, and expressive performance, showing how Lucy's genius could turn a simple factory job into a hilariously unforgettable television moment. Number 2. The Giant Jackrabbit. The Beverly Hillbillies, Season 2, Episode 16. In this episode, Granny mistakes a kangaroo for a giant jackrabbit, setting off a hilarious chain of events at the Clampett estate. Jed and Jethro are roped into capturing proof of the creature, but the kangaroo cleverly evades them at every turn, creating escalating chaos. The episode's humor comes from the Clampett's down-home logic clashing with absurd situations, Granny's stubborn insistence that she seen it, and the perfectly timed physical comedy of each chase and mishap. At the time of its airing, This episode became legendary for its enormous viewership, reportedly setting a record as the most-watched half-hour sitcom episode in U.S. television history. Its combination of visual gags, character-driven humor, and impeccable timing makes it a standout, proving why the Beverly Hillbillies became a cultural phenomenon in the 1960s. Number 3. What Every Young Man Should Know. Bewitched, Season 2, Episode 36. In this episode, Samantha's mother Endora tests Darren to see if he would have married Samantha had he known she was a witch. Using a magical experiment, they revisit the early days of their courtship, where Darren reacts with shock and confusion when Samantha reveals her powers. Chaos and comedy ensue as he struggles to reconcile her magical abilities with his human expectations, creating a series of hilarious misunderstandings and awkward moments. The episode cleverly mixes romance, fantasy, and situational humor, showing Elizabeth Montgomery's charm and Dick York's comedic timing at their best. By the end, Darren demonstrates that his love is genuine, not influenced by magic, and the episode resolves with both humor and heart, making it a memorable classic in the series. Please show your support for the channel by subscribing, liking the video, and hitting the notifications bell so that you never miss a new video. Number 4. Smile, You're on Mars Camera. Gilligan's Island, Season 2, Episode 4. In this episode, a Mars-bound camera probe crashes on the island, and the castaways become unwitting stars when NASA scientists mistake them for strange bird people. Hilarity erupts as the group tries to repair the equipment, avoid detection, and navigate escalating misunderstandings. Gilligan's clumsiness leads to feathers flying, sticky tree sap mishaps, and perfectly timed pratfalls, while the professor's careful plans constantly unravel. Each physical gag and visual joke is expertly staged to maximize laughs, highlighting the cast's comedic timing and chemistry. The episode combines slapstick, situational humor, and absurd scenarios, making it a fan favorite and a classic example of the show's signature chaotic charm. Number 5. Halloween with the Addams Family. The Addams Family, Season 1, Episode 7. On Halloween night, two bank robbers hide out in the Addams home, mistaking the spooky mansion for part of their escape plan. They pose as trick-or-treaters, but quickly discover that the Addams family's eerie traditions are very real, from bizarre decorations to unexpected surprises in every room. Gomez and Morticia's calm, deadpan reactions to the robbers' panicked antics amplify the humor, while Lurch, Thing, and the children add perfectly timed visual gags and physical comedy. The clash between the robbers' frantic modern logic and the Addamses' macabre charm produces escalating hilarity, from startled jumps to awkward escapes and slapstick chaos. Fans remember this episode as a standout because it blends traditional Halloween spookiness with character-driven comedy, demonstrating how the series combined gothic style, timing, and absurd situations to create timeless laughs. Number 6. The Little Train Robbery. Petticoat Junction, Season 1, Episode 9. In this episode, two young men plan to rob a shipment being transported by the Hooterville Cannonball, but their scheme quickly unravels when they end up spending the night at the Shady Rest Hotel. Kate Bradley and the girls become unwittingly involved in the chaos, leading to a series of comedic misunderstandings and escalating slapstick moments. From hiding evidence to frantic attempts at escape, each mishap is timed for maximum laughs, while the warmth and charm of the Shady Rest staff provide a delightful contrast to the would-be robbers' panic. The episode blends situational humor, character-driven comedy, and clever visual gags, making it one of the most memorable and highest-rated installments of Petticoat Junction, showing how 60s sitcoms could turn even a robbery plot into a laugh-out-loud experience. Number 7. Jeannie, the Matchmaker. I Dream of Jeannie, Season 5, Episode 13. In this episode, Jeannie decides to play matchmaker for her friend Roger, enlisting a computer dating service to help him find love. Hilarity ensues, as the machine's suggestions lead to a series of disastrous and comically mismatched dates, while Tony Nelson struggles to keep Jeannie's magical interventions from escalating out of control. From unexpected transformations to awkward encounters, each moment is timed for maximum laughs, showcasing Barbara Eden's charm and Larry Hagman's exasperated reactions. The episode combines fantasy, situational comedy, and physical gags, creating escalating chaos that never feels forced. With its clever writing and perfectly executed comedic timing, Jeannie, the Matchmaker, remains one of the series' most memorable episodes, illustrating how magic and romance collide for laugh-out-loud television moments. Number 8. Herman the Great, The Munsters, Season 1, Episode 8. In this classic episode, Herman accidentally becomes a professional wrestler after impressing a promoter with his incredible strength. At first, Herman believes he's simply helping the family earn a little extra money, but his gentle nature clashes with the over-the-top world of show business. What follows is a hilarious series of training scenes, mistaken identities, and outrageous wrestling matches where Herman's monstrous power causes chaos in the ring. Fred Gwynn's physical comedy shines as Herman tries to follow instructions while unintentionally demolishing everything around him. The episode combines slapstick humor, wordplay, and heartwarming family moments as Lily worries about her husband's safety, and Grandpa plots schemes to keep the secret under wraps. With its perfect balance of spooky charm and classic 60s comedy, Herman the Great remains one of the Munsters' funniest and most beloved episodes. Number 9. Where's Archie? All in the Family, Season 5, Episode 8. In this memorable episode, Edith is hosting a Tupperware party, while Archie is supposed to be away at a lodge convention in Buffalo. Gloria has just discovered that Archie never made it there, but decides to keep the news from Edith to avoid upsetting her. Even without Archie present, the episode is packed with laughs. Mike and Gloria prepare for a Marx Brothers film festival, dressing as Groucho and Harpo, which adds a playful layer of visual comedy to the chaos. Meanwhile, Edith's Tupperware party spirals into disaster when she accidentally knocks over a table full of bowls in front of a snooty Tupperware representative, hilariously portrayed by Charlotte Rae. The laughter builds until the episode takes a sharp turn, ending on a suspenseful note when Edith finally learns that Archie is missing. Blending sharp writing, situational humor, and emotional depth, this episode perfectly captures why All in the Family remains a sitcom classic. Number 10. You Ought to Be in Pictures, Green Acres, Season 2, Episode 10. In this episode, the Hooterville Chamber of Commerce invites a Hollywood movie company to film a movie in the Valley, but the city crew quickly discovers that small-town life doesn't run according to their script. Oliver Wendell Douglas tries to impose order, while the eccentric residents, including Ebb, Alf, and the farmers, create one comedic disaster after another. From props being misplaced to characters improvising their roles in unexpected ways, every scene escalates in slapstick and visual humor. Eddie Albert's straight man reactions highlight the absurdity around him, while his on-screen partner delivers each line with effortless grace and impeccable comedic timing. The episode blends situational comedy, character-driven gags, and fish-out-of-water humor, making it a classic example of how Green Acres turned rural chaos into laugh-out-loud television. These episodes show why 1960s sitcoms remain timeless. From the frantic chocolate factory of I Love Lucy to the ghostly antics of the Addams Family, these shows perfected timing, physical comedy, and character-driven humor. They remind us why we still laugh at these classic TV moments today. If you love these timeless laughs, subscribe and share your favorite 60s sitcom memories in the comments below.
Holy Trivia Batman. 10 fun facts about the classic 1960s TV series.
Welcome to a thrilling trip back to Gotham City, where the 1960s Batman TV series captured the imagination of millions, bursting with colorful villains, unforgettable catchphrases, and campy humor. This show became a pop culture phenomenon that still shines bright today. Let's dive into 10 amazing fun facts about the iconic Batman series. Number 1. The 1960s Batman series debuted in January 1966 and became an instant hit. Audiences tuned in not once, but twice a week to catch the adventures of Batman and Robin, with cliffhangers keeping fans on the edge of their seats. That same Bat Time, same Bat Channel line became legendary. But what made this show so different was its unique mix of comic book action and tongue-in-cheek comedy. It didn't take itself too seriously, and that was exactly what fans loved about it. The campy style, colorful sets, and comic style, bam, pow, and zap. Graphics weren't just funny, they became television history. Number 2. Adam West wasn't the first choice for Batman. Several other actors were considered, but West brought a special deadpan seriousness to the role. That seriousness made even the most absurd situations seem epic. West's portrayal became so iconic that he carried the Batman persona with him for the rest of his career. Fans adored him for embracing the role instead of running from it. Even though future Batman were darker and grittier, Adam West's version remained a symbol of fun, lighthearted heroism. Number 3. Burt Ward, who played Robin, was only 20 years old when he was cast. He had little acting experience, but his youthful energy made him perfect for the boy wonder. Ward's holy catchphrases became one of the most recognizable aspects of the show. Holy sardines, Batman, and holy cow were just a few of the countless expressions. His acrobatics and enthusiasm gave Robin the spark that balanced Batman's serious tone, making them the ultimate dynamic duo. Please show your support for the channel by subscribing, liking the video, and hitting the notifications bell so that you never miss a new video. Number 4. The Batmobile was one of the most famous cars in TV history. It was designed by George Barris, who transformed a 1955 Lincoln Futura concept car into the sleek, crime-fighting vehicle. The car featured bat-shaped rear fenders, flashing lights, and gadgets galore. It wasn't just a car, it was a character in its own right. Even today, the original Batmobile is considered a priceless piece of TV memorabilia and has sold for millions at auction. Number 5. The villains were just as popular as the heroes. Stars lined up to play colorful baddies like the Joker, the Penguin, Catwoman, and the Riddler. Cesar Romero's Joker stood out, especially because he refused to shave his mustache. Makeup artists simply painted over it, and viewers could still see it. Each villain had unique quirks and costumes that made them unforgettable, and their performances added a delightful sense of chaos to Gotham. Number 6. 3 actresses played Catwoman during the show's run: Julie Newmar, Eartha Kitt, and Lee Meriwether. Each brought her own unique style to the feline villainess. Julie Newmar made the role iconic with her slinky costume and playful mannerisms. Eartha Kitt broke barriers as the first black actress to play Catwoman, bringing a fierce edge to the part. Lee Meriwether appeared as Catwoman in the 1966 feature film, showing just how big the Batman craze had become. Who was your favorite Catwoman? Leave it in the comments below. Number 7. The series was known for its star-studded guest appearances. Celebrities like Sammy Davis Jr., Jerry Lewis, and even Werner Klemperer, who played Colonel Klink on the Hogan's Heroes show, popped up in cameo roles. One running gag was the Bat Climb, where Batman and Robin scaled a wall, while famous stars leaned out of windows to greet them. It became a signature part of the show. These cameos kept fans guessing, and every week felt like a mix of superhero action and Hollywood glamour. Number 8. The show's budget was surprisingly tight, leading to creative solutions. Many of the sets were reused or repainted to save money. Despite limitations, the bright colors and comic book-style visuals gave the series its signature look. It felt like a comic book had come to life on television screens. The clever set design and costumes proved that imagination could make up for limited resources. Number 9. The theme song was composed by Neil Hefti. It became one of the most recognizable TV themes of all time. The song was simple but catchy, perfectly matching the fun and excitement of the series. Even today, just a few notes instantly transport fans back to Gotham City in the swinging 60s. Number 10. Although the series lasted only 3 seasons, its cultural impact has been massive. It inspired comic books, toys, and even a feature film released in 1966, Batman's campy, colorful style influenced pop culture far beyond its original run. It also paved the way for superheroes to dominate both television and film in later decades. Even now, fans celebrate the show as a nostalgic treasure, a reminder of when Batman was both heroic and hilariously fun. The 1960s Batman TV series wasn't just a show, it was an explosion of color, comedy, and superhero action that changed television forever. From the Batmobile to the catchphrases, from Adam West's deadpan delivery to Cesar Romero's unforgettable Joker, this series remains a shining example of TV magic. Our caped countdown ends here, but Gotham's laughter and thrills live on. The bat signal may fade, yet the legend of the dynamic duo never does. Same bat time, same bat channel, and always the same bat fun.